Itty bitty bitty bum, Hugo Life. Itty bitty bitty bum, Hugo Life.
Hey Pranav, hi, how are you doing?
Hi, good. How are you, sir?
All good, all fine. How was your day?
Superb, going well.
Great. All fine and all good. Okay, let me ask you the first question. What was your vision when you launched Carbamide Forte?
When we launched Carbamide Forte, so there was one day when we, Pramod sir and I, had gone to a pharmacy and we tried to buy some multivitamins for him, and the pharmacist always showed us all these very expensive imported brands, and we saw, and we're from pharma background, right, sir? So when we saw them, the formulations were very easy. Only some ingredients were there which we didn't have, but the costing was 4 times that what we could manufacture. And Pramod sir was there, and he, actually has a lot of. He could calculate on his hand that this costing is very high, and the value is not so much. So we asked the guy that people are actually buying this, and then they come and repeat buy this 2200 rupee supplement. He said people see the price, but they go. They don't really buy. And sometimes they buy, but they never come back and rebuy. So then we figured that maybe there's a gap in this market. But the problem was that Indian brands were not looked upon as fantastic supplement brands. Imported was the best. Even if they're putting nonsense in their products, imported products were the best. So we wanted to change that. That's how we thought that, that day we thought that, okay, there's a gap in the market where we need to change that perception, that an Indian brand can actually do good and make products which are really good quality products and give them at a good price. And that was our vision, and that's how we thought about Carbamide Forte.
Great, let me ask you second question. What was your most exciting launch?
Most exciting launch, one of our first multivitamin that we actually designed, Pramod sir and I together. I remember this was around 4 years back, and we designed a multivitamin which was unlike anything that India had or unlike anything that any other country had. We designed it with all vitamins and minerals and some Indian herbs with it. As long as it had some testosterone booster blends, so some blends which were not existent in the market, but we know that the Indian audience needs it. So we packed 45 ingredients in one tablet and had a crazy price. We understood that multivitamin is something that people keep on having, so we made a 180 tablet pack, and that 180 tablet pack would cost the consumer around less than 4 rupees a tablet. And that launch we were very excited for. We set up a good price point and we launched it all throughout all e-commerce marketplaces, and that was a huge success for us. And till date, I think it is probably our #1 selling product. People buy that 6-month pack, they see a lot of value in it, and it actually signifies what we created this company for. That value that we wanted to create, that we wanted to give them a product which is world class at Indian prices. We could give that, and I think it's still showing its results.
Okay, so my third question is, what is the best part of working with family?
Family? Chalo, I'll show you. Come.
The best part of working with Dad, so Dad and I have been doing this together since almost 12-13 years. My first job was here at Novus. So what's not the best part? I think everything is, right, Seth? The whole point of not only do we share the same space in office, we share the same space at home. He's just right in the next room. So any new idea comes in this fast e-commerce world, any idea that I get new and quick, I immediately run it off him, and he immediately runs his ideas off me, and we can work very fast, very quickly in tandem with each other. Also, I have the best family, the best dad to work with. There is no downside to this because everything so unbiasedly. He can guide me, he can support, he can mentor, and everything that we want to know and we want to do together. There are very few dads I've realized who can gel well with their kids and can grow businesses together. The whole point of him being so open-minded in general, and that open-mindedness helps us do such a new business. E-com is so new. Other 60-year-olds don't understand it as well, but Dad does. So all of those things makes life amazing to work with him. Very few places we completely fail and come back. There is not a father figure, a father to guide me through this journey. So it's all great working with family.
Oh, great. Now, what is the hardest part?
Hardest part?
Yeah.
I don't think there is a hardest part. Maybe any hard part would be for us to probably. No, I really can't think of a hardest part because everything is actually simpler and softer when you're working with your dad. Uh, Anything that is hard for me, he will make it soft or he'll take it away from me. So for me, if you ask me, probably there are a lot of hard parts for him to deal with me. But for me, life is easy. Life is not hard when I'm working with him.
Great. Pranav, this question is to you. What has been your biggest learning while working with your family?
I think one of the biggest learnings, so see, we are from a pharma background. The family business runs from my grandfather to my father and to me. I think what granddad must have taught dad keeps on teaching me. We kind of always understand that, we're building products for customers and customers' health. Correct? So when we're building products for customers' health, we want to focus on quality and adding a lot more value than anyone else. And then we don't need to do anything else, then the customer keeps coming back to us. So adding value, giving quality is probably the most important lessons that dad keeps on reminding me that this adding value, is this good for the consumer? If it is, then we move ahead with it, and that's, I think, the biggest lesson.
So my next question is to Pramod sir. What is something that you admire about millennials' working style?
Millennials, yes. The one fact that I realize is that they are very fast in their decision making. So, in our old days, we didn't have the resources also, and we used to take decisions at our own pace because the decisions were not so important. I mean, time was not a constraint. Today, time is the constraint, and they are up to it. So, they take decisions fast, and I think that helps grow businesses better.
Right. So that's completely easy for easy.
It definitely makes, you get results faster, and so you know whether doing right, wrong, and you can move on from there. So that makes a lot of difference to your business.
So my next question is to Pranav. How challenging was it to curve your space into a legacy organization?
To be frank, that question is not for me because it should probably be for him. Because I always loved the legacy business and I was very much pro legacy. It was him that we started selling on e-commerce or on online vitamin supplements in 2011 when eBay or one of the few starting companies were the only ones there. But the volume was so small that we left it because I left it, and he was very angry with me for leaving that business because why did you stop my online business? It was, if you would have continued, look where online is going, and we would have scaled and we would have done so well. So one fine day he stopped approving my work and he started YouTubing how to set up an e-commerce website, etc. himself, and he started making an account himself, and that's where I got really embarrassed. So basically he pushed me to move away from legacy, try creating our own D2C brand and moving forward from there. So he was the driver. When he is the driver, I don't really need to and I was the one who was actually resisting that, business is going so well, processes are set so well, so why should I move away from this? I'm so focused here, I don't have the time to do something new. But he was the one that, you need to take out some time, we need to do this. We found out a gap, we found out that we need to, we can add value, and if we can add value, we must add value.
So every day, 2 hours he used to dedicate to online business.
Yeah, so
it was so apart from our usual traditional business that we were doing. So that was shocked out that you put in 2 hours.
So out of 8 hours, out of 8 hours, 2 hours was online, 6 hours was offline and our traditional business. But the push was not from my side at all. He was the one pushing and I was the one resisting. And then finally, when the results started coming in, when I started enjoying the work, then a lot more time started going in. And last 3-4 years, we've been full time onto this. Both of us together shifted from legacy to building this brand for us.
Okay, so now let's go to my favorite question. What do you love about Yoga Life?
Or I'll request both if you can answer.
I think Papa can go first.
My perception of Yuga life has been exactly as I thought it to be. The first time that I met Anvi in my cabin, and we shared ideas, and she was so bubbly and so enthusiastic about what venture she was getting into. And I see her, implementing it to the T. Everything that she thought of, she has been able to implement, and a lot of values, a very different, a very young, friendly, teaching kind of website she has created, where navigating is easy, learning is easy. If you want to know about a product, first you know the product, then you buy. And that is where she comes from. She very easily explains through whether it is her vendors, whether it is her manufacturers, whether it is her own knowledge. But she's able to explain to the customer why something is good or not good for you. And then the customer on its own is, prompted to buy a product from the site for the sheer pleasure of navigating the site and seeing what it does for them. All other D2C sites, they do that blah blah blah, price point, this, that, nothing in it, nothing in it for the customer. The customer wants the product, he just buys and goes. He doesn't learn anything. Right? Either he comes with prior knowledge and he wants to buy something, and he just buys and goes. But there is no affinity to the website, right? Here she creates an affinity. You want to come back again to the website. That is what is very happy.
Thank you so much for your answers. Yes, Pranav.
I think Sir has summed it up very well. But mainly, the education part that Anvi had focused on, and frankly, in India, we all understand that nutraceuticals and health supplements as an industry is an upcoming industry, is growing slightly, and that's why the information to the customer or the customers don't make an informed choice yet. They're not educated well enough, which you guys changing. And which is a very big, it's a movement, it's not a website, it's the movement, right? That where you're trying to educate customers on what is what, give them an actual reality, and put the power in their hands to really make an informed choice, which is what Indians love to do. Other websites focus on price, which they think that that's what Indians love to do, but the young India is new, and Yuga kind of captures the young India and the pulse of that. And the young India wants to make an informed choice, not only on price, but also on what value they're getting. And Yuga explains them how to read a label, how to select a product, what is actually good for them. And price is, of course, there, but she focuses on things which add value to the consumer, which no one else focuses on. And that's what I think is best for Yuga.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your answers. Okay, now let's have a quick rapid fire. I'll ask you 5 questions, and I want both of you to answer.
All right.
Pizza or khichdi?
Pizza.
What's that one thing that you don't skip for your healthy life?
My walk.
These days, my 20-30 minutes of meditation, I think. I don't skip that. Yeah.
One quote you live by?
Actually, there is no code. I mean, I just leave it simple, very simple.
It's a good quote, basically.
I have one. I'd heard it and we applied a lot. Basically, let me just remember how it goes. It was if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we usually do a lot of planning and then we execute. And if you don't plan, we fail. So we live by that.
Most inspiring entrepreneur?
You may not have heard of the company. The company is very big. It's by the name Matlior's Pharmaceuticals. I remember the journey, and the owner, Dr. Rajendra Agarwal, came to Mumbai from Jaipur on a bullet. And he came to my office and he said he wanted to start a company. That was in, I think, 82, 83. And from a very, very humble beginning, today they are a 1,000 crore company in turnover. So they are valued maybe at 10,000 crores. And that company was proudly born in my premises when we were manufacturing medicines. So that man, the way he worked, he never made a mistake. Phenomenal.
Yes, ma'am. For me, I think my biggest inspiration is my father, and another thing that I've heard about my grandfather from him, because even we had very humble beginnings. My grandfather started from a village, and from there he had such vision, and which he was an odd person in his village because he had such vision to go to Mumbai, set up a pharmaceutical company, set up a plant over there, and then dad. Seeing all the ups and all the downs, being part of that journey, and a good long 40-year journey, and inducting me into the business, and then growing it from there, and so many different things we've done in this 12-13 years together, and it's just amazing that I keep learning from him every day. So I think
No, it's vice versa. He has really worked hard for it, and he has kept me going because he has the zeal and the enthusiasm and the will to do it. So I also get the same, the same waves. They travel, and then naturally I also feel good about it, and I work. At this age, I work as hand in hand with him. That would not be possible otherwise. Otherwise, I would be probably sitting at home.
Coming to my last question. Who is your favorite actor?
Amitabh Bachchan.
favorite actor. You put me in a spot here. Favorite actor. I think Ayushmann. I like Ayushmann Khurrana a lot.
Okay, so
Alright guys, thank you so much for your great answers. It was lovely speaking to you guys.
Thanks a lot, sir.
We live by the philosophy that whatever you make or whatever you offer to your customer, first it has to be value to him. Exceptional value. You must deliver exceptional value to your customer. Of course, we are a profitable organization, we are a commercial organization, we need profits. But first, you give a good product, that is very important. Something which will benefit him. The purpose for which he is buying a product, shelling out his money, that purpose should be served. You may charge him 2 rupees, you may charge him 10 rupees. That is his call. But when he buys something, he should get back. That is the philosophy of the company, and that is what we live by.
That's very nice. Yes, sir. Anything from you?
No, I think Dad has summed it up very well, and that's what we want to kind of continue also for the next few decades. Let's hope we can.